Welcome back, you guys. I am so excited for today's video because I think it's going to be such a fun one. I've created 3 looks with the Arttitude Maneater palette. I finally got it in my hands during the restock and I'm so excited. But I created the first look and then was like, you know what? Let me make this video be about my thought process and how I look at palettes and come up with fun, interesting color combinations and how I find inspiration when I look at a color story. So I really break it down in this video and show you guys like my thought process on how I like to create looks like this one, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It was a really fun video to do. Like I said, I did do 3 looks, but let's go ahead and get into it. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Heather and I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands. And if you guys love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe, stay. I have so much stuff coming my way and I'm so excited. I picked up a few of the new launches and I have big plans. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. But as I said, so I filmed the first look with this palette and I kind of like talked about my process and how I do things in that look. But it was like later that night I thought, you know what, let's make this whole video about how I pair colors together and all of those things. And I feel like we did that throughout the video, and at the end I showed you guys like other color combinations, gave you my thoughts on this palette. I've used almost every shade in it, so I felt comfortable giving you like a full-on review. But I'm excited to get into this. So first, I do want to give you some information on this. Those of you who are new here, Arttitude Cosmetics has become one of my top favorite brands. I love them so much. I have 6 of their palettes. I'm so in love with their formula. I think it's beautiful. So this is a 20 shade palette with 5 incredible formulas. The possibilities are endless. So there are 10 buttery, easy to blend matte eyeshadows. I agree with that. Their mattes are so easy to work with. But there are 4 super reflective shimmer eyeshadows, 3 high definition foiled eyeshadows, 2 soft multi-chrome eyeshadows with a subtle shift, and 1 iridescent shimmer eyeshadow. And I don't know if I said, but this retails for $44. If you guys are interested, I'll have it along with everything I've worn in all of the looks linked down below in the description box. But this is beautiful and I'm so excited to show you guys the looks. I'm in a tie. I loved all 3, but I really love this one a lot, and I really love the first one. So you guys are gonna have to let me know down below which ones you love the most, and let's go ahead and get into it. Well, hello, how are you guys? I am so excited to get into today's video. This lip combo is everything. It's a brown liner. This one is from the Glam Light Trick or Treat collection. It's more warm tone, but I'm finally trying the BLACKMOON Cosmetics lipstick formula, and I'm in love with this shade. It's like the most perfect mustard that I've ever seen. I'm so excited to have this in my hands. I bought a bundle from them. It was a recommendation from Betty Jean from Batty Bean, but it was like the autumn bundle and you get 3. They're all like so gorgeous. I'm excited to get some use out of them. So I am going to be changing some things. I have been like showing what's on my face in every like video with every look, but my videos are getting way too long. Like almost all of them are over an hour, and I know not everyone has that much time to dedicate to one video. I get it. So I am gonna work with how I film these videos, and you guys are gonna have to let me know like what you think about everything. I would love to hear your thoughts, so leave them down below. But I did want to tell you like some of the favorite things that is on my face today. So as always, all of the products I use and every one of my looks will always be down below in my description box. So instead of showing you everything that's on my face, I want to show you like some of my favorite things that I'm wearing today. And the first being my Singe Beauty blushes. I love these. They're such a gorgeous like satin formula. So I did Risky Raisin like towards the back. And then I used Persistent Persimmon to blend it out. It goes so well with this lip. So for highlighter, I mixed two. I did my Fenty Beauty Demi Glow. This is in the shade Pretty Pearls. It is my most used highlighter in my collection. I love it so much. But I mixed it with this one from BLACKMOON Cosmetics. This is their Moonlighter formula. And this is the shade Glowworm. And it's more focused like here towards the outer corner of my eye. It's really, really stunning. I love it. But I thought these two like work so well together. Also, I tried the DANESSA MYRICKS concealer for the first time. This is the Lift and Flex concealer. So I actually really like this, but I have the wrong shade. This is going to be like my self-tan shade for concealing, but it is too dark for me right now. So you guys know I've been dying to get my hands on this palette. This color story is so incredible. I see so many different combos and stuff throughout this palette, and we will talk about that at the end of look number 2 tomorrow. I want to like share some of my favorite like combinations with you guys. I also picked up another set of my Singe Beauty brushes. I love these so much and I use them all the time. These and my Sigma ones are my most used brushes. I have an alarm set because I have a Zoom meeting with Angelica Nikavist and all of us that are going on the Greece trip at 7. So I gotta try to hurry. But I feel so drawn to this outer corner right here. There's something about it. I want to figure out a way to do a look with all of these shades together. I haven't quite figured it out just yet. So today I'm going to play mostly with these 3. Maybe the yellow. I'm thinking about doing like an inner corner pop of the green. Okay, so I'm going to start this out with the E06 from Singe Beauty. And we're going to dig into this shade here called Camouflage. I just love these undertones. I think they're so pretty. But I want to press this shade here in the inner corner. Focus most of that like in the actual crease. And then I'll blend. And then I'll wipe the brush off so that I can blend it out. I got my words a little mixed up there. Happens so often. But I just mostly want a light wash. You guys, I get so tongue-tied. I'm going to do the same thing down here with the E04 and that same shade. Now I'm going to go into this shade, Hunter, with the E06. And I'm going to just do the same technique out here in the outer corner. Just really press this shade in. So I like tried one of these like lace see-through shirts not long ago. And I'm so in love with it that I got online and found some in a bunch of different colors. And like in all my videos lately, I have on a lace shirt. You guys are probably like, girl, don't you own anything else? But the answer is yes. I'm just really in love with this. I think it's such a vibe. And again, the same thing on the lower lash line with the E05. These mattes just really blend so beautifully. They're so fun to work with. They've really become a favorite. I love this brand. I cannot wait to see what they do next. I'm just re-intensifying this shade in the crease. Going in with the E08, I'm going back into that shade Hunter. And I just want to bring this up and kind of make it wash out and keep the intensity of the shade in the crease. but I kind of want it to like fade into the blush situation in the highlighter. Now with that first E06, I'm going back into that shade Camouflage, and I do want to kind of bring this up and over. Now I want to deepen up. So going in with the E10, it's from the Singe Beauty expansion set. We're going to dip into that shade Kingdom. Did I show you? Probably not. I do that all the time. And I don't like catch it until I'm editing my video and I'm like, ugh. But I just want to pack this deep brown shade into a little blob out here. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Sigma E27. I'm also going to take just a little bit of this down here as well, but let's do it with the E11. This is like the cutest, most greatest little pencil brush. So I love this so much, this matte crease. It's so stunning. But, you know, the star of the show for me is always with the shimmers. So I'm going to go in with the Clionadh Shine On glitter glue. This one has just been so fun lately. I love the way it performs. It's very thin, like gel-like, but it really does a good job at keeping the shimmers where you want them and not on your face. Oh, I love it. I love these warm tones in combination with blue eyes. I think they're so pretty. They just make my eyes look so blue. Okay, so I want to start with the shade here. No, is that it? Yes, I want to start with this shade here. I just love like these really antique gold-like shades. It's so pretty, but I do want to put this out here in the on the outer part of the lid, probably about half. I like that. Then I'll go in with the brush that I used out here and just do some blending motions. Okay, so I'm hoping this will turn out. I don't know, but I still want to try it. I want to do this green shade here called Endangered. It is so freaking stunning. Honestly, I expected nothing less. And look, like, I probably still have enough. Yeah. Yes, that is what I wanted. Oh, and those two colors together are so freaking awesome. I love them. I'm just spraying some of that shade on an E01 with my MAC Fix Plus, and then taking it pretty much all of the way in. God, that combo is everything. I'm also going to take some of that on the side of the E01 as well and just press this down here. Oh, I'm so glad they restocked this. This is so pretty. Okay, so I want to go into the Shady Hair Claws and add just a little bit of brightness, like right here on the inner part of the lid. So I'm picking up some of that on the E01 and we're just going to layer it. I need some like lighter, more of a pop here. Now using a dry E01, I want to go into this shade here called Untamed. I see so many combos when I look at this. This is such a gorgeous palette, so fun, and it looks like a spring to summer to fall kind of palette. I'm so glad they restocked it. I know I just said that, but oh, it's just so freaking beautiful. And this is the eye. I have a new melt liner that I am so excited to use. I'm going to go use that, finish this up off camera, and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. But honestly, I love this so much so far. I think it's stunning. I am back with the finished look and I freaking love this so much. This has been such a great makeup day and it makes me so freaking happy. So I got to use two liners. One I have not used yet. They're both new from Melt. This is the shade Afterlife and it's so pretty. I did like a little ombre situation. Really ties this whole look together. This is such a like monochromatic vibe with like mustardy, grungy tones with a pop of green, and I'm here for it. But the other shade I used is this one, Cultura, I think is how you pronounce it. I could be wrong, but I did that out here, and I think it's so beautiful. It makes me so excited. And I feel like these lashes are like perfect for this eye look. They're in the style Flutter from Bright Lashes. I just love this so much. I love like the monochromatic vibes of it with that pop of color. I think it's so beautiful. This lip product is like holding up so well. I've had it on for a little while now, but I cannot wait to create another look with it tomorrow. Honestly, I wish I had like a whole week to do looks with this palette. I think that could be so fun, but this palette is so inspiring and so fun. I can't wait to dig into it tomorrow. But I have 14 minutes left until my Zoom meeting, so let's go ahead and move on to look number 2. I don't know about you guys, but I think the hair with the blazer is like such a freaking vibe. I love it so much. But I'm super excited to create another look today with this palette. I'm having so much fun. I loved yesterday's look so much. So as I mentioned, I think it was in this video at the beginning, days run together sometimes depending on how busy they are. But I think I mentioned that I'm only going to start shouting out like favorites on what's on my face or things I just feel like you need to know. So I did want to tell you guys about the blush. So I planned on using pink in this look today. So for blush, I started out with the MAC Glow Play blush in the shade Cheery Up. It's really, really pretty. I love the formula. It's so squishy. But then I did like a little ombre moment with a Laminatrix blush. This is in the shade Kind. But then I decided to switch it over to orange. So I went over that with these two Laminatrix blushes. We have the shades Warm and Sunny. So I'm going to put all four because I technically used all four. It feels like a lie not to, if that makes sense. So, but I did want to tell you why there's like so many blushes that will be linked in look number 1. And I just had to give a shout out to my Unearthly Xander highlight. This is so freaking gorgeous. I love it. It's so pretty. Honestly, it was a perfect collab. And for lips, real quick, I did my ABH lip liner in the shade Peach Amber. It was a favorite, like my first favorite from them. But I did another one of those Blackmoon Cosmetics lipsticks. This is in the shade Harvest, and I'm hoping it will go with today's look. I do have something really exciting planned. So I wanted to share like my thought process on how to create this look. I'm aware I didn't do that yesterday, but I wanted that to be a part of this video, like how I create different color combos. So when I first looked at this palette, the thing that drew me in, well, first it was this one, and I wanted to find a way on how to make these shades look really good together. So I tried to, you know, go off that. But for this look, I felt myself really drawn to this triangle here. And I wanted to be able to create a look with these 3 shades specifically, so I had to try to come up with something in my mind. So I went back and forth on the placement, and first I was going to do the pink, and I changed my mind. I wanted to go with my like initial gut feeling of what I thought would be really pretty. So I've decided I want to do the orange in the inner corner, and then I'm going to do Wild in the outer corner. And I'm probably going to have to use some of Nocturnal, but I do want Wild to be like the primary focus. And then I'm going to deepen up with Wanted as well. And then I was like, how am I going to make this look like go? Because while I do have several options for greens, I need a way to tie this orange in to the eye look. So I decided I'm going to do only green shimmers on the lid, and when it comes to liner, I'm going to do orange. That way it kind of goes together. I might do orange and green to tie these two together, and we'll just see how that works. But that's what I like to do. I'm also really drawn to this section, and I'm thinking I might do a look, a third look tomorrow, like trying to incorporate those into a look. And I try to remember, like, sometimes, like in this instance, say I'm really drawn to these two colors together with this deeper matte. Sometimes, like for this one, we'll use this as an example. I love these four colors together, but there's no way to use all four of these mattes, because at the very least I would have to try to tie these three together, and they don't really tie together. So what I would do in that instance is, instead of using this matte, I would use this on the lid instead of the matte. That way you still get that color combo, but you get it in a different way so that it won't muddy up. I hope this makes sense. But with all that being said, we're going to get into the look now. I didn't do eye primer today. I'm feeling lazy. You guys, I keep sleeping too late. I didn't wake up again today until 1:30, and I just can't be doing that. I like to get up early. It makes me feel better, but my nightmares are crazy right now, so my sleeping schedule is like all out of whack. So it's 8:13 now, and I want to film this video, so I gotta get my stuff together, kind of shut up a little bit. So I'm gonna start this look out with a Singe Beauty E06, and we're gonna start with this shade here, Tiger. Like, these shades would be so stunning together, but I want to use this shade in the inner corner. I'm gonna switch brushes though. I don't know how deep this is gonna be, and I don't want to take it, like, for it to take over, so this is a Sigma E27. I love green and orange together. It's one of my favorite combos, which is why I really love the Daily Grind from Unearthly Cosmetics so much. If you have that palette, you could probably recreate this look without having this one. Okay, so now we're going to dig into the green, and I'm so excited. So we're going to dig into the shade Wild, and I'm going to use another E06 from Singe Beauty. And look at the pigmentation on that. It's insane. I love how, like, bright and fun this is. And that melt liner that I used yesterday, I feel like it's going to go so well with this. So I'm just going to build this up in the crease. I'm pretty much just using this brush to pack the color on, and then slowly blend up. And then I'll go ahead and add some of this to the lower lash line as well. I'll use an E04. Now I'm just going to use an E03 and kind of just floof this all out and blend it. And like the gradient on that, I feel like is very good. I love it so much. But now we're going to have to try to deepen this up some. So I'm just cleaning off the E06 that I used with the green. And I want to go into the shade here called Nocturnal. Technically, I could do Camouflage as well. If I do Nocturnal, I was thinking of, like, initially, like, trying to keep the orange and green as, like, the focus, but I was going to use a little bit of the black to deepen up, well, a lot of the black, who's kidding who. And I feel like for that thought, this would be better, the shade Camouflage. But then I see this shade, and I've been dying to use this shimmer. And I feel like that would really tie those two together. And then I could, okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. I just talked myself into it, because I feel like it's such an odd color combo, one that I've never done before personally. So I think that could be really fun. But I'm going to switch brushes to the E25 from Sigma. And look at that. And when you tap it, like, hardly anything comes off. which means they're not like really fallouty, so you won't really deal with a lot of that on the face. That makes me so excited. These undertones together are going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and do the E04 and kind of use this as like a line of where to stop placing that pigment. It's like a cheat. Going back in with that bright green, we'll just use this to blend this out. I think this might have been a really good idea. I'm going to switch to an E08 from Singe. It has no product on it. And we're going to use this to blend out. And then going back in with that shade Wild, we'll use this to blend out the edges. And then I'll just keep going back and forth with the brushes and the different shades until I get the gradient that I'm looking for, and then we'll move on. Okay, so now everything is nice and blended, at least, you know, for the most part. I'm happy with it. So I want to move on to the black, which is like the best part for me. So we're going to do that with the E10. And going into the shade Wanted, this looks like a very deep black, like black. So I'm just going to try to be careful with how much I'm putting down. Actually, let's switch. I want to do the E05, very tiny and detailed. And I just want to buff this into the crease, focusing most of that darkness on the very outer corner. And then I want to use the E07, and it's like the perfect little liner brush. Gets really close to the lash line, and I want to use some of that down here as well. And I think this is so pretty. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all completed and together, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it too. I'll just go like back and forth between the different brushes, the different colors, until I get this blended as smoothly as I like. And while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and get the other eye caught up, and I'll be right back, and we're going to do shimmers. Okay, so now the eyes are almost caught up. So I decided I wanted this orange to be a little bit brighter than what it was. So I went in with the shade and tapped it over. I didn't do it on this eye yet. I wanted to show you guys, but if you look, you can see like the undertones are slightly different. So we're going to go in with the yellow, and I just want to tap over this. Just a little bit, and then I'll clean off the brush. Well, I cleaned off the E27. Go back into Tiger, which is the orange, and just add some back on, and it kind of, if you go back and forth, it just will really blend those two together, and we made our own color, which I do like. So next, we're going to do the Cliona Shine On Glitter Glue, and I just want to put a little on the lid. So off camera, I was deciding which like shimmer I wanted to use. Obviously, this one is so perfect, but I really do think the pop of this color could be cool too. So I think I'm going to do them both, and then once we get closer to the inner part, I want to do the shade Untamed, but I do think I want to pull something in for inner corner, and I was just checking out my like all shimmer palettes. I don't know. I'll figure out what to do like once we get to that point. I'm probably going to have to get up and grab that Chromebook, but for now, I do want to start with this shade, Maneater. And I want to tap this over here towards the end. It's going to give me that pop. But I think I want to use this brush from Singe. It's the E09. I'm going to put a little more glitter glue on the back of my hand so I can pick some up on this brush, and then pick up some more of that shade Maneater, like she picks up like a dream. I'll also spray it for good measure. And this brush will allow me to be like more precise with the application. I do like to take it over a little further than what I plan on like keeping it. That way I can, you know, use that space to actually blend those two shades together. So now we're gonna go in with the shade Endangered. Do I want to though? I don't know. We'll see. If I don't like it, I can go back over it. That's the good thing about shimmers. I don't think I want to do much of it. That is pretty. That is really pretty. These colors are just gorgeous together. Then I'll like go back and forth between the shades here in the center and just keep tapping until they blend, they mesh. Using my E11 pencil brush, I'm going to go back into that black shade, Wanted. And I just want to like kind of tap this over the edge of these shimmers. That way I can get it blended so it doesn't end so like abruptly. I do like to clean off the brush periodically. That way I'm not accidentally blending shimmers to the outer corner. That is perfect. Now, I'm going to go find something to put here in the inner part. I do want to take some of this like shade up here, Untamed. It's like an iridescent green shade, and tap there, but I want to find the thing I need for the inner corner. I'll be right back. I found a shade in the Chromebook. So I got this one in PR. I do have a video on this. I did 2 looks. I love them so much, and you guys seem to love them too. So thank you. But the shade I want to do is this shade here, Royalty. And I'm using the Singe Beauty E01. I did add a little bit of glitter glue to this to help me like pick it up. I mean, the Singe Beauty brush does really good on its own, but I'm just adding, like, see what I mean? I felt like this was necessary to really tie this look together. And I know I kind of cheated by adding something else in, but it works. And just so you guys, I know, like, if you wanted to recreate this, you could just use any kind of orange shimmer. But just to see like what this really looks like, it's kind of like a green gold orange. You can see a bit of pink in there as well. There you go. You can really see, like, until my camera like tries to focus and brighten. It's the settings I have on my camera, but it's a really pretty shade. But just like an orange iridescent would honestly get the job done as well. So I'm just trying to take it over that green a little to make sure those are nicely blended. Added a little to the inner corner, but not too much. I also want to take some on the edge of this brush, spray it, and just add a little down here as well. It's so pretty. So now we're going to do Untamed, and I'm going to use another one of my favorite pencil brushes. This is from Sigma, and it's the E30. I love it. But I want to add some of this green here, and I think that looks really cool. And I love that. So I was just, while I was dipping into that shade, I almost dipped into this shade Kingdom because it is so stunning. It's like a bronze with the brown base, but it has like this really gorgeous pink flip that's more like that color. And I think tomorrow, if I can remember this, I really want to do like these 3 together. They would be so pretty. Deepen up with Carnivore. You could maybe even do some of this yellow in the inner corner to kind of tie it all together. But that shade is so freaking beautiful. Okay, so for liner, I want to do like a little mixing situation. So the Spectra pencils, I haven't reviewed these yet, but I have used, I think, all of the shades now. Some of them I really, really love. They're all like not bad. So with the orange and the pink one, I feel like they are better when you put a white under it. It could be a preference kind of thing. I just think it adds brightness to it, if that makes sense. So those are the only two that I feel like need the white. The other ones are really good. I have like severe allergies. I'm on so much allergy medicine, it's not even funny. So my eyes water all the time, and I really need a liner that's gonna stay, and I'm happy to say these stay. I really like them. They're really good quality. But I want to do the orange like on the inner part, but I'm going to use the white to brighten it and maybe even lighten it a little, because I want this melt liner to kind of be the focus on the outer half. So I'm going to do that and finish this look up off camera. And I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. You're going to have to let me know like how you feel about the new way I'm trying to film and edit these. Let me know your thoughts. If there's anything you could recommend, anything you would like, any changes you would like to see, please let me know in a nice way. Of course, I don't mind constructive criticism, but just keep it nice. But I'll be right back, guys. I am back with the finished look, and my hair is looking a little fluffy, but I did change out the lip combo to the EAZE liner and lipstick from Lunar Beauty, and I love it. I love it so much. It's such a pretty color. Doesn't really go with the inner corner that much. I mean, the little fiery flip that you see there, yes, but it kind of ties the jacket and the blush into the look, and I love that. I'm so excited to play with this again tomorrow. So that's the good thing about it being like kind of dead with the releases right now. I mean, they are starting to show some really cool stuff, but as for this moment, I haven't really gotten a lot of stuff to create videos with. So I'm happy that I get to spend time with this palette. It's been so fun, and I can't wait to create a look with it again tomorrow. I hope I remember to do that one, because I think that could be super pretty. I would also like to do this one if I have time to get into it, but the new 9 pans from Unearthly just shipped, and I'm so excited to get those in. I think I'm gonna have a surprise in that video, so stay tuned for that. It will be, even though we're like a month out from my 2-year anniversary on YouTube, I will be gone during that time, so I wanted to go ahead and do that like in that video, but as long as everything works out, we'll get there. So this eye has been watering since I got off camera because I accidentally got mascara in it, and you can see like that liner is not going anywhere, even though my eyeshadow is like getting bald patches. And I did the combo I told you guys about. But for mascara, I did the Tower 28 again. I've been in love all over again, and I'm so happy to have it back in my collection. For lashes, I did not do bright lashes. I've been on such a bright lashes kick that I forgot how much I loved the Divination stackable lashes that Robert Welsh did with Blend Bunny, and I do have them stacked. I think they are so beautiful. I don't know if they're still available, but if they are, I will have them linked down below if you guys are interested. But I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this look. I think it's super fun. These little flyaways I have are not, unfortunately, but I think the look is beautiful and super fun. I don't know if I like it more than the first look, but I'll have to see. But let's go ahead and move on to look number 3. Listen, this description box on this video is going to have so much blush linked below because I did another blush combo again today, and I wanted to tell you about it. So these are the best blushes of all time. I love them so much. It is the DANESSA MYRICKS Beauty Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flush. It's like face and lip. I've never tried them on the lips, but I love them so much as blush. I'm obsessed. So this is a newer shade. It's called Spice Latte. It looks so beautiful. But I did a topper situation. So I went over it with one of the Melt Cream blush lights. And this is in the shade Lynx. And it's so pretty. I really enjoy this formula as well. It's very glowy, but I wanted some more brightness to the look, so I also added a little layer of Golden Hour. And I love this one too. It's so gorgeous. Both are really great formulas. Love them. You have to love a glowy cheek to like the ones from Melt. They are a bit more sheer, so if you like a more punchy blush like I do, you would probably only like them as like layering things because they're a bit too sheer for what I go for. I like a punchy blush, but for highlight, I did the BLACKMOON Moonlighter in the shade Glowworm, and I think it's so pretty. So yesterday, I told you guys that I was going to do a pink and brown look, and I've changed my mind. I just wasn't feeling it today. I really want to do a look with these shades. I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, because I keep going back and forth. I was really feeling this chocolate lip, so it's kind of making me want to use the brown as well. But I don't know how it's going to really play into the look. I think these together would be really beautiful too. So that is why I keep going back and forth on what to do. So we're just going to start with the yellow and see where life takes us. I'm going to go in with the E06 and we're going to go into the shade Siberian. Oh, this is the E08. I thought that looked awful fluffy. Let me clean that off and find the E06. A brown and yellow look would be so pretty too. I do want to kind of take this like out, like sweep it out some. I really like this lip. It's from Unearthly in the shade Kalina. And it has like a yellow undertone to it. It's really pretty. I know like all her lip products right now, what's left in stock are like 50% off because she's changing out the tubing for her lip products. So I don't know like when she plans on doing a restock or anything, but if I find out, I'll let you guys know. I really love like all of her lip product formulas. They're really good. Now I'm at a crossroads. Which shade do I want to do? Sometimes a look like comes to me really quickly and sometimes it doesn't, but in this instance, I do want to swatch these. This is a good way to try to see like which way you want to take something. So I could do the brown like in the outer corner, deepen up with this. Maybe I could still use the orange to like blend out the brown, but I think I'm going to go with the neutral. It's called Beast. I don't know why. I just really want that kind of vibe in today's look. So I'm going to use another E06 from Singe. Go into that, and I'm just going to pat this throughout the crease. She is deep and dramatic. I'm going to switch over to the E07 now. Just work on like blending this out. I'm probably going to have to take the yellow over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the E03. We'll see. It'll make it a lot easier to blend that Olive shade. I have no idea what I'm doing with the lower lash line. It's just going to be another one of those things. We'll figure it out as I go. Like I said, usually I can see a look as soon as I look at a palette, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. I just see colors I want to try to play with together, and then I just go from that. It just depends on the palette. Now I'm using the E06, and I'm just deepening up and building up this shade. I think I want to add some of the orange. So I'm going to go in with Tiger on the E03 and just add a little bit. I don't want it to like take over the look, but I think it could be pretty with some of it. I really, really love this. So I'm going in with the E27 from Sigma, and now I want to dip into the shade Carnivore. I feel like it could add a little spice to the matte situation. And like, she is pigmented. And it was a little deeper than that neutral shade. So I do feel like it will still show up really well. And I'm just kind of packing it on and just slowly blending as I go. Really adds like a fun extra layer. I'm just taking this over too because I might like leave that whole like part out here matte because I don't know. I love that pop. It kind of matches the shirt as well. It's really pretty. Now I want to go in with a Singe Beauty E04 and go back into that shade. I think that's what I want to do with this lower lash line. And I'm going to take it like 3/4 of the way over. This is such a fun look, especially when I had no idea what I wanted to do exactly. Sometimes flying by the seat of your pants really does work out. I'm also going to clean off the brush, dip into the yellow Siberian. We're going to pack that in right here. And then I want to switch over to the E05 and go back into the yellow. And just blend down here across the lower lash line. I just feel like that really added so much to this. I'm going to go ahead and get the other eye caught up, and I got to switch my camera battery, and I'll be back, and we're going to dip into some shimmers. But I'm so excited to see how this one turns out because I love this matte situation so far. So now that the other eye is caught up, I was looking at the palette and I love the way this looks so much, and I was thinking of seeing what this will look like as an all matte look, just to see. So let's do that. I want to go back into Siberian and just fill this in. I might add a shimmer because, you know, I love shimmers so much, but I just have a feeling this would be so pretty as an all matte look, and it's been so long since I've done one. And then kind of like go back in between the yellow and that shade Carnivore, that deep one that I use out here. I love that so much. I think it's so pretty. I don't know though. I really love shimmer, you guys know. I'm going to go in with a little bit of that orange shade, Tiger, and just kind of tap this here on the edge. Yeah, that really brought it together. I wish you guys were here so I could ask you. So if I were to use shimmers, I would definitely do this shade. It's so pretty, so reflective. And I would probably do the shade Claws, like on the inner corner. I'm like stuck. I love this so much. Let's just add a little. I can't help myself. How about we don't even like use a glitter glue and I just tap this on. That's pretty. That's so pretty. But now I want to use the E04. I'm just going to clean it off, dip back into Carnivore, and like pack this on here. because I definitely don't want to lose that shade. I feel like it kind of makes the whole look so pretty. And then I'll go in, no, let me use this brush. It's the E09 from Singe. And just use this to kind of diffuse the shimmer shade. Okay, I'm going to do the glitter glue because it's toned down too much. I do want a little shimmer. I think I will leave like this part of the lid matte though. So let me just add some of this to the lid. This is the Shine On from Cleona. I have to remind myself to use other stuff. I love that primer so much, but I also really love some others in my collection too, like the one from Bella Beauty Bar and Diverune. Love those. Very similar formulas to each other, not this one. This one is quite unique. Now I will take the E04 again and re-intensify this shade Carnivore out here. Make sure everything's nice and blended. Can't wait to hear what you guys think of it, but I think it's beautiful. It makes me so happy. So I've used a lot of melt liners in this video, but I want to do this one, Cultura. I think I use this in the first look too. I can't wait to edit this back so I can see the different looks, but I'm going to use this little tiny brush from Cleona. It's good for so many things, even liner. And I do want to run some of this in the lower lash line. I might use a different shade for the inner part, or let's do white. It's my favorite way to lighten up a liner because I do like a more bright liner. And this is the shade Exit from ColourPop. And I forgot to tell you yesterday when I talked about the Glisten liners that I don't like the white one. That's the only one I don't like. There's a few shades, like I mentioned, that are harder to, like, they're not harder to use. You do have to like use like a white under them if you like the same bright kind of liner I like, but they still work perfectly fine. The only one I don't recommend is the white. But you can see how it added a brightness to that inner part, and then it fades out to be darker. Actually, I might even do a little black right in the very outer parts. That could be fun. Why not use this black from Glisten? I think this is it. I think one thing I wanted to do is use this E30 pencil brush and add just a teeny tiny bit of the shade here, Claws, to the inner corner. Not even a lot, just like right here, to add some brightness there, and I think that works out really well. But I'm gonna go finish this whole look off camera, and I'll be back to share my thoughts on this palette. And I've used it several times now, so I do have thoughts on it so far, and I can't wait to let you know what they are. But I'll be right back. I am back with the finished look. Oh my god, you guys, I think this one might be my favorite. I love it so much. But I changed out the lip combo, stuttering and everything. I used the Unearthly lip liner in the shade Char, and then I did the liquid lip. This is a satin formula in the shade Danielle. I just knew that this like chocolatey, it's almost got like a purplish undertone, would go so well with this look. And I feel like this look like goes so well with my hair and everything. I love it so much. So I also covered up that black liner, and then I covered it up with this one from Melt. Then I went over it at the very edge with the ColourPop shade Sunnyville. So the black is no longer in the picture. And I went ahead and I used a little brush. I can't remember which one. I can't even find it. But I used a little like smudging brush and smudged the waterline with this shade from the palette. And I think it added like that extra layer of smokiness, which you guys know I am all about. And for lashes, I did the style All Naturel. I think these ones are on their last leg though. These have lasted me forever. I've worn some of these like more than 20 times. This is such a great lash brand. But let's get into my thoughts on the palette. Oh my god, you guys, this was just so fun to be able to take time, like several days, to really dive into this palette. You guys know I have been wanting this one for so long, and I'm super I'm super glad to have it in my hands now. I've had such a blast with it. So as for the creating, like showing you guys my thought process and all of that for creating looks, I hope it inspires you and maybe helps you out a lot. I know like with the first look I didn't really like explain my thought process, but it's because I didn't really even think about making this video around that topic until the second look. But I would love to be able to do more videos like this if you guys are into it, just showing you what really attracts me to an eye look, how I put color combos together, and all of those things. I think it could be super fun, but I hope you guys enjoyed these looks. I had so much fun with this. I do have some other videos coming up where I'm going to be talking about my favorite color stories, my favorite color combos, and all of the things. Just trying to show you guys how I get inspiration when I look at an eyeshadow palette. But now I really want to share my thoughts on the palette. So I really thought this was going to be my new favorite from Arttitude simply because the color story is so gorgeous. But there are a few things about this palette that I do not like, and it's a personal preference kind of thing. But in case you've been eyeing this, I do want to mention it. That way you guys can decide if those types of things really matter to you. So as I was saying, I love this color story. All of the formulas in this palette are really good, but there are some shades in here I am not crazy about because they're a little duller in shine than what I am used to from this brand, but I did want to point them out. So we have the shade Forest, Jungle, this one that I used on the inner corner today, Claws, and this one, Free. So there's 4 of these shades, and see, they are really, really beautiful. And a lot of people do like those more toned down types of shimmers. They almost remind me of satins in a way. They are really pretty, but I do personally like a little more oomph into my shimmers. Like I said, they're beautiful, like gorgeous metallics, but I'm used to getting more from them now, and like this palette is like their oldest release that I have, so keep that in mind as well. The other shimmers I thought were really, really beautiful, but for someone who likes to do looks the way I do, where you have like very contrasting eyeshadow looks, I like adding the drama to the outer corner. I love having the brightness in the inner corner. That is hard to do because there are only 2 light shades and they're both green. That makes it kind of difficult to create the types of looks that I like to create. I feel like this palette is more like directed towards people who like just straight up dark smoky vampy looks without the inner corner brightness. So just keep that in mind as well. And lastly, while I love this color story, I feel like there's parts of it that don't make sense when it comes to like the shimmers versus the mattes. This pink, I feel like, doesn't have a really good place in this palette. It's like such a, and I keep in mind, I am the kind of person who loves like random pops that seem to make no sense in an eye look and trying to find a fun way to tie them in. But this shade to me makes 0 sense in this palette. Yes, you do have this pink, but it is vibrant and it has like this bright blue like violet shift. It's a gorgeous shade, but I feel like it really doesn't make sense in the palette. Same with the shade down here, Fire. unless you did like a brown smoky eye or something and then did these two shades on the lid. This one is more like green leaning though, so I don't know. There's like certain things I personally would have tweaked with this color story, but those are my thoughts on it. But with all of that being said, like I said, this really is a good formula, and I had a blast creating these looks. There's just certain things, if I'm picking it apart, that I would change personally, but I just thought this would probably be my number one simply because of color story, and I do have 5 other palettes from the brand. They're one of my favorites. I love them so much, but this does not take the title for my favorite palette. It still goes to Vintage and Neutrals all day, every day. I love it so much. Now I do have 6 palettes from the brand. I cannot wait until I have at least 10 so I can rank them. Like I said, they're one of my top favorites, and I feel like this palette shows like how far they've come, and I'm so like happy and proud to have their stuff in my collection. I cannot wait to see what else they come out with. And while there are things that I would tweak with this color story, if it was my color story, I still think it's a freaking gorgeous palette, and it's obviously capable of creating really beautiful looks, if I do say so myself. I still really want to do these 3 together. I just wasn't feeling it today. And you know, maybe I'm like speaking ahead about this pink shade, because this shade Kingdom is so pretty. It kind of looks like a goldish peach when you look at it like that, but it has this beautiful like soft pink flip to it, and it's really gorgeous, and it would go really well with these 2 shades in the crease. I did talk about this a little bit yesterday, but now I'm kind of seeing more of it come together, hopefully. And I see like these 2 together, it goes beautifully with that. And I'm wondering if you did this in the inner corner, would it give it that pop that you guys know I love so much? It's very possible. If I get the opportunity to create that look, I'll post a reel for you guys or something here on YouTube and Instagram and show you what that one looks like. But all in all, I had a blast with it. I feel like I'm over explaining, so my bad for that, but this video was so freaking fun. I'm so happy to finally have this. I hope you guys really love the looks, especially as much as I do, and the lipsticks have really been so cool in this video. The BLACKMOON Cosmetics lipsticks, when I tell you I am buying more of those, I mean, I'm doing it so fast. I also want to pick up more highlighters. I'm really eyeing that brand. And today I picked up the new launch from Cryptine Cosmetics. I'm so excited to finally be trying them. I have the Gloss Gods launch coming my way, the Twilight collection. I'm excited. There's going to be so much fun stuff coming. So stay tuned. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure you are. You don't want to miss out. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And until next time, bye.